Hey guys, this girl got game. Welcome back to Never Forget Me. It's time to start really getting into these sad endings. So here we are at the first scene, where we had followed our directions to be honest with Eddy, and things ended up pretty okay. But now, I don't know if I'm really mentally prepared for this, but here we go. Start down this rabbit hole of keeping it to ourselves. It's nothing. I just think I'm a bit tired from all of these night shifts. That's probably it. Don't worry, you'll get used to the hours soon enough. It's always difficult when you're first starting out, but you'll adjust. Yeah, but time with you always makes it better. I look forward to spending more time with you, whenever that may be. It dawns on me that my next day off isn't for another 4 days, and even then Eddy will most likely work until late that evening. We might have a couple of hours together before bed, and that's it. And, of course, you know what Eddy will want to do with those couple of hours. No matter how tired he is after a long day, he's never too tired for that. Really? Isn't it time to leave? Your shift starts soon, right? Yes, it does. I offer him a weak smile and kiss him lightly before slipping on my shoes and grabbing my purse. As I exit our urban one-bedroom apartment and make my way to the hospital, I reflect on our conversation. Did I really do the right thing by lying to Eddy? They say communication is the most important key to marriage, but should we really tell our partner everything, even if it adds unnecessary stress to an already strained relationship? Well, not this time around, girl. Alright, well, I'll bring you in for the second scene, guys. Well, here we are at our... what was going to be a romantic candlelit dinner before going to a cabin. And we forgot that Eddy told us he was working. Last time I was excited for him, but now I'm going to let him know that I'm upset. I'm Amarantha. I get upset. Dang it, Eddy. You know that we never get time off like this. Do you realize how selfish you're being right now? Selfish? I'm being selfish for doing my job? Explain the logic of that to me, Amy. They couldn't have sent anyone else? No. So, if you couldn't go, then no one could have taken your place. I didn't say that. See, you could have skipped it. Honestly, do you even care about me, Eddy? Do you even care about making this work? Listen to yourself. If I blew off work all the time, do you think I'd be a very successful doctor? No. In fact, I wouldn't be a doctor at all. They'd fire me for that kind of behavior. Well, what do you think happens when you blow off your marriage all the time? Eddy pauses, taken aback by my harsh words. The deep implication they carry sends shivers down my spine. The effect they have on Eddy, however, seems to be akin to paralysis. Finally, he manages to speak. What are you saying, Amy? Wait, what am I saying? I'm not even sure myself. I do know that I don't want a divorce. Not yet! Not yet! Oh gosh. I still want to try and make this work. I don't know. We stand there in silence for several moments, unsure of what we should do next. This is the biggest fight we've ever had. What are we supposed to do now? Eddy averts his eyes and glances at the table. How out of place the candles and roses seem now. It's getting cold. I know. I frown, suddenly losing my appetite. I'm not hungry anymore. Suit yourself. Without another word, I quietly retreat to the bedroom. All of my energy feels like it's been sucked out of me. I guess this is the toll of fighting. No wonder they say it's bad for your health. Too tired to remove my clothes, I slip into bed and close my eyes. Faintly, I can hear the clicking of a fork and knife against the fine china. For whatever reason, it infuriates me. Tears begin to roll down my cheeks as I try to ignore the gnawing feeling in my stomach. I'm not sure whether it's stemmed from the stress of the fight or if I actually am hungry after all. I bury my face in the pillow, hoping to muffle any sobs that escape my mouth. I don't want Eddy to know that I'm crying about this, especially since he seems so much more collected than I do right now. That's why you're crying. Why is that? How can he even eat at a time like this? Why isn't he in here comforting me? Emotionally and physically drained, it doesn't take me long to drift off to sleep. Whoa. What a beautiful background. That night, I dreamt that Eddy and I were enjoying a vacation in Hawaii when a volcano erupted. We ran and ran, but it felt like my feet were stuck in molasses. No matter how hard I tried, my movements kept slowing until eventually I couldn't move at all. Eddy, on the other hand, kept running. He never even looked back. Sheesh. Is there anything new to this? No. Okay. Oh, that's kind of a terrifying dream. Well, that happened. That was very sad. Okay, well, I'll bring you in for scene 3 when it comes around. Alright, so we learned some concerning information about workaholics. Last time I woke him up and demanded some answers. This time I'm gonna let him sleep and have Amy just stew on it like she does. I'm not going to wake Eddy up over something so stupid. He's exhausted, and rightly so. What am I expecting anyway? A series of dramatic admissions? He goes to the hospital even when he's not scheduled just to get away from me and sleep under his desk. In fact, he has a whole secret room underneath the building where he and other workaholics conspire to come up with new excuses in order to escape from their spouses. Yeah, Amy, that's totally a plausible thing. I'm just paranoid and anxious because I'm sleep deprived. I lay down trying to forget what the psychologist said, but despite my best efforts, I am unable to go to sleep. I know you, girl. Which would Eddy pick? Love or career? As the gnawing feeling in my stomach grows, I realize that I'm sure of his answer. All I have to do is look at his actions, and it's clear. I grip my pillow tightly as I slowly become aware that I am number 2. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason for that, but you won't find out now, girl. Oh well. I'll bring you in for scene number 4. Alright, remember our lovely friends? Yeah, they're back. So this time we're going to open our feelings to them. Also, listening to this, is this roommates music? Or am I, like, misremembering? It just seems kind of familiar. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna admit that I'm unhappy. Tears begin to fill my eyes. I can't lie to my friends. Even if I tried, they'd see right through me. And what's the point of having friends if you can't share your true feelings with them? Getting better friends? I need to be honest. Maybe they can help me figure out how to get through this. It's been a rough few months. He's just been so busy, I feel neglected. I know Eddy loves me, but I'm wondering if it will always be like this. Is this the price of being married to a doctor? No one should have to live like this, Amy. It doesn't sound like he really cares about you. Or at least he cares about himself more. It's not like that. Part of why he's working so hard is to secure a good future for us. I think you're looking at the situation through love goggles. Can you really say that a man who devotes more time to his career than his wife is actually in love with her? Carrie. Leah shoots Carrie a reprehensive look, then turns back to me. I'm not saying that I agree with Carrie, but I do have to admit that something is wrong. I'm not sure a marriage can last when it's so unbalanced. You guys don't understand. You don't know Eddy like I do. I know that he loves me. He says it won't be like this forever, and I believe him. He's just at a difficult place in his career right now. Just a few more years like this and he'll be secure in his career. Then we'll be able to spend more time together. Yeah, but what happens after a few years of this when nothing changes? Will you tell yourself that it'll be a few more years? Suddenly you'll be middle-aged, miserable, and trapped in a dead-end marriage. It's best to get out now while you're still young. I don't want to talk about this. I came here to have fun and relax. I'm not going to sit here and listen to my husband be berated like this. My 2 friends sit quietly for a moment, undoubtedly startled by my outburst. Leah awkwardly changes the subject and starts talking about the weather. Though we make small talk for about 20 more minutes, the tense mood never fully alleviates. I finally excuse myself after half-heartedly promising that we'll get together soon, and then I hurry home. I enter the apartment feeling emotionally exhausted by what was supposed to be a soothing night out. Immediately I plopped down on the couch, feeling as if I could fall asleep right there. It occurs to me that I should check my phone before I retire to bed, so I fish it out of my purse and look at the screen. I have a missed call from Eddy. He must have called earlier when I was in the pub. I hit the redial button and hold the phone to my ear, eager to hear my husband's voice after an especially difficult night. It rings and rings, but Eddy never picks up. Disappointed, I leave a voicemail and then go lay down in bed. Eddy's probably just sleeping and didn't hear his phone ring, right? Who can say? Alright. Well, I'll bring you in for the next scene, guys. Oh boy. Instead of having that really cute, fun scene that we got here because we weren't nosy and trusted Eddy, we're gonna check his phone. While he's in the shower. I reach into Eddy's pant pocket and pull out his phone. I need to know if Eddy's lying to me. If he lied to me about this, then what else is he lying to me about? This is why I need to know. I click the power button on the phone and, to my surprise, it turns on. I don't recall Eddy charging his phone since he's been home. He fell asleep on the couch immediately, which means he was lying about his phone being dead. I knew it! Quickly, I scan through his text messages and missed calls, but I don't find anything suspicious. Did you find what you were looking for? Shocked, I drop the phone and look up. Eddy is standing in the doorway of the bathroom, a towel wrapped around his waist. I didn't even hear him turn the water off. A scowl marks his face as he disdainfully looks at me, rightfully so. Yes, I found out that my husband is lying to me. Why didn't you answer any of my calls, Eddy? Did you enjoy being away from me? Was that like a vacation for you? I was trying to conserve the battery. What about the extra battery you keep in your suitcase, huh? I had forgotten about it. I didn't even remember that I had it until I was in the taxi on my way home. And by that point, I figured I'd just wait until you got home to talk to you. Don't give me that crap, Eddy. You always pack an extra battery. Why would you randomly forget that you had one? I don't know. I had a lot on my mind, and the convention was stressful. I just wasn't thinking as sharply as I usually do, okay? Tears begin to fill my eyes. I can't tell if he's lying or telling the truth. I don't know what to do. Eddy's face suddenly becomes pain-stricken. He hesitates for a moment, but eventually sits down on the bed next to me and takes me into his arms. Aww. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were so stressed about it. If I'm ever in that situation again, I promise I'll text you or something to let you know that I can't talk because my battery is dying. I pull away from him with my arms crossed, still slightly miffed. Amy, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I hurt you. Amy? I bite my lip and wipe away my tears, now with a new resolve. All right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions like that. It's okay. I don't blame you. I can't believe I let my imagination get carried away. I feel ashamed just thinking about the accusations that were racing through my head mere minutes ago. I know my natural tendency is to play the victim and blame all of our problems on Eddy, but I'm responsible for this mess too. How hurt Eddy must have felt when I accused him of lying. How can a marriage last without mutual trust? Well, I feel more exhausted than before. I hope you don't mind, but I really don't feel like going out anymore. I understand. You should probably go to bed early anyway. You need to sleep off that jet lag before work tomorrow. Right. Eddy retreats to the couch while I return to the kitchen and finish washing the dishes. Man, he got dressed up really nicely for a day of sleeping on the couch. After I'm done, I sit down on the couch with Eddy and stroke his hair. He doesn't say anything. Even though I'm sitting right next to Eddy, I feel as if I'm separated from him somehow. It's like there's this slowly widening rift between us, and the rift broadened exponentially by my actions tonight. It's so sad. I feel so sad reading all this. Oh, right. Anyway, I'll bring you in for scene 6, I think it is, guys. Alright, well, we just met Mr. Farrell, and we're feeling all kind of like a spark in our chests and stuff, but this time we're going to keep it professional, which I was going to do the first time, but But I was just like, I don't know. So, we'll see what this does for us. I decided to keep it professional. How awkward would it be to see two medical staff making out in the hallway like a couple of teenagers? I mean, it would totally be hot, but we'd both get reprimanded for it. You didn't, though. I can already hear Eddy's voice echoing in my head, counting the ways in which this would damage his career. Aw, man, she just doesn't trust. He never did any of this. As we pass by each other, I squeak out a simple greeting. Hello?
Hi, Amy. Oh, Luke, Lorna, this is my wife, Amy. She also works as a nurse here.
The two colleagues offer unenthused pleasantries and shake my hand. What a difference.
Well, we've got to get going. We were called to the ICU, so it must be something serious.
Eddy waves and then speeds down the hallway with his fellow doctors. I continue my walk to the nurse's station with a little less pep in my step than before, wondering if I made the right decision. Definitely not. Alright. Well, I'll bring you in for the next scene, guys. Instead of the enjoyable evening that we would have had if we just stayed with Eddy. I'm gonna go dancing. I never get to go out like this. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I danced. It certainly hasn't been since Eddy and I have been married. I know I don't need his approval, but I shoot Eddy a look regardless. He shrugs apathetically in response, so I leave my purse at the table and make my way to the dance floor, where I dance with my love rival and Luke. The music they're playing is something I've never heard before. Must be a song that came out after I became a nurse. I haven't had much time to devote to anything aside from my job and Eddy lately. Hey, Eddy. This feels good, just to be able to dance my stress away. Before I know it, I spent a considerable amount of time on the dance floor. I eventually get thirsty and return to my table, but I'm surprised to see that Eddy is no longer there. Maybe he's just in the bathroom? After waiting for several minutes and seeing neither hide nor hair of Eddy, I ask around about his whereabouts. Many say that they saw him leave a while ago. He left without me? What? That's insanity. I rush to the parking lot only to indeed find that our car is gone. I can't believe him. Why would he leave without me? He didn't even tell me. This is so embarrassing. What will the others say? Furious, I whip out my phone and call a cab. He is going to get an earful from me when I get home, I can assure you. As I wait for my ride, I analyze Eddy's behavior. Why would he leave without saying anything? I think about it some more in the cab, but I still can't figure it out. Soon, I arrive at the apartment and I pay the cab driver his fare before he zips off. I steady myself before climbing the steps up to our one-bedroom apartment, trying to quell my rage and think clearly before confronting Eddy. I mean, maybe he was thinking I'll be considerate and let her dance because I know she loves dancing and I'll just go, and whenever she's done she can just come home. But that's still like bizarre moon logic, Eddy. No. Finally, I twist the knob and open the front door. I'm surprised to see that the apartment is dark. It certainly doesn't look like Eddy's home. Could he have left and gone somewhere else? A drugstore, maybe? It's possible he wasn't feeling well. I switch on the light and find Eddy sprawled out on the couch. He's snoring heavily and half a bottle of whiskey rests on the carpet by his outstretched arm. I don't understand. Eddy hardly ever drinks, and when he does, he only has one glass. Dejectedly, I clasp the bottle of whiskey and put it in the fridge, then I return to my husband's side. As I stroke his hair, I can't help but question Eddy's uncharacteristic behavior. Leaving me alone at the party? Drinking excessively? What's up with him? I kiss his forehead and tears begin to well within my eyes. Worries flood my thoughts almost at the same rate as the tears drip from my eyes. Eventually, my watery eyes grow heavy and I fall asleep on the floor next to the couch, clutching Eddy's hand. Now you tell me how you wake up from your drunken stupor and see that your hand is being held by your wife and you don't feel bad. What happened after that? You can't just leave it at that. My heart can't handle all of this, guys. Anyway, I'll bring you in for the next scene, I guess. Well, we ran into Hugh, and he told us about this foxy lady that Eddy was drinking with. So since we're on a great roll, let's ask about the other woman. What was Hugh talking about? Didn't he say you were alone with some woman? What right do you have getting mad at me for drinking with some friends when you're off gallivanting with another woman? You're more guilty than I am.
That was just Lorna. We got off work early and she wanted to sit down and ask for some advice. It was a purely innocent discussion between colleagues. I didn't even order a drink.
That's not what Hugh said. He made it sound like you two lovebirds were drinking together.
Hugh said a lot of things, all of which were to make you jealous. He was upset because I interrupted his making a move on my wife. He just threw that out there to make me look bad. You need to stay away from him, Amy.
Don't tell me what to do. Gosh, you're so possessive. I felt like you were going to break my shoulder back there. You were gripping it so hard.
Hugh is trying to drive a wedge between us.
Shut up. You don't know anything about Hugh. Have you ever really given him a chance and taken the time to get to know him? You've always hated him, ever since you two first met, because you perceive him as a potential threat. Look, he just wanted to chat and catch up with me. You know, because he's my friend? That's what friends do, Eddy. They talk to each other. This isn't high school anymore. The pretty boy isn't trying to ruin the high-achieving nerd's life. You won. You got the career and the girl. Can't you be satisfied with that? You look like a child when you get all flustered when an attractive guy talks to me. It makes it look like our marriage is in shambles. I don't know, maybe it is. I bite my lip and pause. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but that's how I feel sometimes. Some days, everything is great. Other days, I question whether I made the right decision when I married Eddy. What I'm trying to say is, have a little more faith in me, okay? It hurts when you see me talking to a male friend and you think something is going on. Even if he was hitting on me, which he wasn't, do you really think I'm that naive? Do you really think I'd cheat on you? Eddy says nothing. Even without the use of words, his answer is evident. His response, or lack thereof, feels like a harpoon repeatedly piercing my heart. Eddy doesn't trust me? I always try to give him the benefit of the doubt and believe what he says. Not true. But he can't return the favor? Trust is the cornerstone of marriage, right? A tear slides down my cheek and Eddy pretends not to notice. We walk the rest of the way home in complete silence, both brooding, both hurt, and both a little more distrustful of each other than before. Yay! Yay, pain. This is so hurtful. Okay, bring you in for the next scene, guys. Well, pretty boy Hugh, as Amy has dubbed him, is here at our apartment. And Eddy's calling as we're hiding in the bathroom. This time we're not going to answer the phone, and I'm sure things are going to escalate horribly from here. Let's do this. I can't risk having Hugh hear me. Eddy is adamant about my no longer talking to Hugh, but I don't want him to know that I'm ignoring him either. I'm just trying to keep the peace. I wait for a few minutes, listening closely to what's going on outside. Eventually, I hear Hugh's heavy footsteps. They grow increasingly softer until finally I can no longer detect them. Thank goodness. I better call Eddy back now before he gets worried. Quickly, I dial his number and press the phone to my face. Eddy?
Hey, Amy, why wouldn't you answer your phone?
I paused, wondering if I should just tell him the truth. Instead, I decide to fabricate a lie. The truth will only make Eddy mad. He doesn't need to know that Hugh came by. I didn't even answer the door, so it's not like I did something wrong and I'm hiding it from him. Then why do you feel the need to lie? I was in the shower. I heard the phone ring, but I didn't want to hop out and answer it. You know how when you get out of the shower and it's super cold and it just generally sucks?
Yeah, okay. Wait, didn't you shower this morning?
I did, but then I cleaned the tub. I had to scrub really hard and I got a little sweaty. I felt gross after that, so I took another shower.
Okay.
Wow, it sounds like he actually bought it. I guess this means I'm becoming a better liar. Something to celebrate? Question mark. Wait, that's not something I should be proud of.
It sounds like you're having a productive day. Now I'm sorry that I disturbed you.
A long silence follows Eddy's statement. I feel bad, but I'm not sure what to say. I have too much on my mind to be an intriguing conversationalist right now, and I've never been good at phone calls anyway. Are you on your break?
Yes, although it's almost over now.
Aw, well, you've only got a few hours left, right?
But it's those last few hours that feel the longest.
I know. Another awkward pause. When did we get so bad at talking to each other?
Well, I'll let you go.
All right. I hope the rest of your day goes well.
Me too.
Goodbye. Eddy hesitates. Oh, he's crying! No! I can't! I can't make it through! I can't make it through! He's having a difficult time saying what he wants to say. Oh, gosh. How can I do this?
I miss you.
I miss you too. See you soon, though.
No, I mean I miss us.
Oh. I'm caught off guard and not quite sure how to react. It's unlike Eddy to be so candid. Then he just smiles.
I've really got to go now. I love you.
I love you too. I hear a click and I drop the phone by my side. As I lean against the bathroom countertop replaying Eddy's words in my mind, I wistfully place my hand on my stomach and wonder what the future holds in store. He actually said, I love you. He said, I love you. Oh. Well, I might as well just keep you guys here, because I am just trying to get to 100% of my diligence. And then we'll move on with our lives. Do. And whatever, we'll just do some resting. Okay, and on that note, we will save, because we'll have to come back here for the second one. I don't know I'm gonna make it through this after that last one. Here we go. Let's skip ahead to the important bits. Alright. Make Eddy talk with Nathan and get your heart shattered. So I grab his shoulder and spin him around so we're facing each other. Instead of him crying, what is it now? Are you going to waste even more of my time? Waste your... Why on earth did you pull me away from my work to talk with a decrepit old man? I was on the phone with one of my superiors, Amy. Do you know how bad it looks to just suddenly hang up on them? But didn't you hear Nathan's story? Yeah, he was a sad, greedy workaholic that only cared about himself. I don't see what that's got to do with me. But my heart sinks with the realization that Eddy is unable to recognize his own shortcomings. If he can't even identify that he's got a problem, then how can he overcome it? Would he even want to overcome it? Never mind. You can get back to work. Finally. Eddy turns and walks briskly down the corridor to his office. Tears once again fill my eyes, but it's nothing compared to the despair that's filling my heart. Sometime later. Sometime later, I moved back in with Aaron? Question mark? What? I lay flat on the couch, hand on my swollen abdomen as I inspect the many unopened boxes scattered about. I should probably be unpacking, but it's difficult too when you're carrying around all of this additional weight. Only a few more weeks, and then... Suddenly my phone rings. Anxiously, I grab the device and hold it to my ear. Hello?
He signed the papers. Congratulations, you're a free woman.
I realize the weight of this moment. Man, you guys got divorced before you even had the baby. That's amazing. I'm no longer married.
Now, regarding properties and goods...
Thanks, but I just wanted to know if he signed the papers. I end the call before my lawyer can get another word in, then place my forearm over my eyes. I momentarily contemplate how hard the future will be for me. I'm totally starting over. Moving to a new place, finding another job, etc. So we really just ended up picking up the same apartment that we would have moved in with Aaron? Oh, that's weird. But this thing growing inside of me, this baby, it motivates me. Whereas most would see a baby as an unnecessary burden, it gives me hope and drive. The desire to provide for my child fills me with determination. Spurs me onward. Even though Eddy and I weren't meant to be together, and I do believe I made the right choice by divorcing him, something good came out of it. And for that, I'm thankful. Something good. Little Caleb. I love these little people, and it is not a slight thing when they, who are so fresh from God, love us. Charles Dickens. Sometime later. Nurse Amy. We still work at the hospital? Okay. I make my way down the hospital corridor, examining the in-progress nurse shift schedule I've been working on for the past couple of hours. I'm required to oversee this new hire's blood transfusion, which I'm on my way to now. I had hoped to finish the schedule before then, but life doesn't always go the way you've planned. How awkward. As I'm walking, I spot Luke, Lorna, and Eddy chatting in the hallway ahead of me. Though it's awkward, I decided to stay with the same hospital after Eddy and I separated. They know me here, and I knew it would be easier to advance my career if I stayed, as opposed to starting over somewhere new. I'm hoping that the three of them will just ignore me and allow me to continue with my business, but Lorna speaks as I draw closer. Amy, congrats on the promotion. Thanks. My response is curt. I'm pretty sure that Lorna is incapable of caring about anyone other than herself. Why is she commending me? I'm just so amazed at how strong you are. To go through something as devastating as that, and then channel that misery into hard work, that's really remarkable. Ah, that's why she's talking to me. Lorna has this amazing ability to turn painful jeers into thinly veiled compliments. I might actually be impressed if I didn't hate her so much. Oh no. Oh no. That's so sad. Oh no. Well, after the miscarriage, it was difficult being in an empty house. Eddy winces, remembering the loss. The miscarriage happened early on in the pregnancy, while Eddy and I were still filing for divorce. I thought you were still pregnant then. Doctors say it was due to an abundance of CRH, a stress hormone in the bloodstream. It wreaks havoc on your uterus. Going back to college and earning my Master of Science in Nursing really helped to get me through those dark times. The doubled salary is pretty nice, too. I believe you're the youngest head nurse we've ever had. Well, I worked hard. That's all I can really say. You've certainly earned it. Luke's smile is genuine and comforting. I always wondered why he allowed Lorna to hang around him. They're so fundamentally different. Well, I've got to get back to work. I've got a blood transfusion to oversee. I hired this nurse, so I know that she's qualified to perform the procedure on her own, but it's hospital policy that I observe. I understand. Luke weighs while Lorna broods beside him. Apparently she's upset that her words didn't have more of an effect on me. How do I keep attracting these women? Eddy, on the other hand, offers up a weak smile. We've learned to coexist with each other, though it's still uncomfortable sometimes. I turn on my heel and resume my walk, eager to put what just happened behind me and move forward with the workday. Oh. Right. Well, yeah, okay. We did it, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm so sad. I'm just so sad right now. I'm just like, Well, since that happened, I guess we have one more sad ending to do, guys. Let's see how that ends for us, shall we? Hope to see you over there. Until then, see you later.